Right, we're in the big boat, but we won't actually be taking the big boat today. The reason being is the tide's going out, so in about an hour this will all be dry. I just wanted to get on, check for water, because it faces downhill, so I can't pump the water out if it's dried out, the boat. Now I could go out and put it on the outer mooring, which is what I'd normally do, but I haven't been able to check the outer mooring yet because there's a storm coming, or strong winds in the next few days, and I know I need to change the chains and stuff on it, or check them at least, because they were the old chains off this mooring that I put out there, so because they're obviously underwater out there, they won't rot as quick as being in the oxygen or just being in the air. But I've got to dive that, and I haven't had a chance to do that yet. So until then, we're going to go out in the little boat again, and the pump must be working because I can hear it as soon as I step in it. It brings all the water back, or did. It's probably gone off now because it's probably just about low enough. Yeah, you can see in there. I'll just hold it up. I have an override switch as well that I can use if I need to switch it on, but it's rained quite a bit. I'm thinking of switching this pump out. I've got a much bigger one. This one's a bit, you can see it's not that strong. I mean, it keeps pumping, it'll keep the boat clean of water, but it is getting worn, it is slowed down, so I'll probably put a new one on. Anyway, I'm just going to fiddle with a few bits on here, like get the water out and that, and then we're going to head out there and check the pots. I'm just waiting for the tide to drop a bit, because you get a 2-hour thing here where the tide drops for about 2 hours and it'll settle down. The 2 hours up, because the water's running the opposite direction, it gets a lot rougher out there, so if you wait for the 2-hour drop, it's a lot calmer. Plus all the rocks and things will come up and shield the bay a bit better. And we'll see you out there when we're out there. We've hooked something, whether it's seaweed or a fish. I'm more hopeful for a fish, but the amount of weed that's around, I haven't seen too much out here. I've put a lot of line out this time though to get it away from the engine. So I've also changed. I had a rubber eel on, but I've changed because it's deeper here. Put a big shiny lure on because the water's still a bit discoloured. That's a fish. Definitely a fish. Not a big fish, it's just badly hooked, I think. Yeah, it's just badly hooked. See there, it's got a lot of hooks jammed in it. But it's a fish. Right, I'm going to try over that area again. Okay, we're going to do the pots. First pot. I've wet the seat already. So yeah, the fishing, I hooked another fish, but it came off pretty quick, so that was that, and that was about it really. Nothing else much happening. Like I say, water's still a bit murky, a little bit high. And it's still a little bit early. Let's hope the pots do better. Right, this is in spider country, so let's see if we've got any spiders. We had fresh bait actually, it should have helped. They like their fresh bait. Oh yeah. One. That one's okay. The box. What I'll do is I'll do the same. The bigger ones, I'll put them all in the box and I'll sort them out which ones to take later. Right. No bait left in that pot. Now, do I leave these out in this area? That's the next question, because there is a strong winds coming. I mean, they should be okay. Might just pull them in a bit from the channel that runs over to those islands. And this one is empty. You sometimes think you get a hole in your pot when you see your pot's empty like that. Right, I'm going to get these baited and then we'll go on to the next ones. More spider crabs. Oh, that's a good one in there. A real beauty, that one. First one. And this one in here is an absolute cracker. Yeah, man. Fold those legs up. Go. And that is a real beauty, that one. Prime spider, that one. They do get bigger. It's where they get in the pots when they get too big, is the problem. Right. Now we can chop up in there now as well. So I'll sort them all out once we get in. There's a little tiny one. And a few more nice spiders in there. Another nice one. And just some smaller ones in there. Right. Do the same again, get this bait in, and we'll move on to the one just in front of us. See the weeds starting to grow on the ropes already. Does this pot feel heavy or something? It feels heavy. Well, it's got a nice one, isn't it? We're certainly picking up some nice crab. Come out. Another one that's not bad. I'm going to fill up my box pretty quick at this rate. Crab. There's a shanker in this one. And that's it. One lonely shanker. But I won't bother with that. Ah, the wire's gone in this one. That means the conger's been in. What they do is they come in, they rip the wires out with the bait on. Fortunately, I do have a spare one somewhere. Bit rusty, but it'll work. Well, looks like I had the camera off. spider crabs. Again, this is spider crab area, so and more spider crabs. Right. They all look pretty good. And that's a nice one. And that one there. Pretty good, and the others I'll probably just throw back. Yeah, that one's alright. That one's too small. And there's a couple of small ones in that pot. Last pot of the morning. Cool, this one's right on a rock. Hopefully it's down the side. You see the weed off the rock there. Oh, it is down in the corner, so maybe. It's got a conger on by the looks of it. Might be dead as well. Yep, it's got one big eel in there. And it looks pretty dead. So, that's bait sorted. Let me just get us out the rocks first. And we'll have a closer look. Now, I think it's still alive just, but this is what happens if they stay in the pots too long. And these pots have been out because obviously we can't get with this weather lately. That I will change in a minute. Okay, let's get the crab out first. Throw all these little spiders back. Yeah, this isn't a bad way, this one. But that's alright, like I say, it won't go to waste because I'll use it in my crab pots. But it's still alive, but barely. Let's have a look at it. As long as it doesn't bite me. Come on. There it is. One big eel in a hell of a mess. So we'll put this out of its misery and we'll use it for bait. They get a lot bigger than this normally. They can go up to sort of, well, they can go up to about 200 pounds or so. Right, I'll put that in the front out of the way. And the thing is, there's enough bait on that to do all these pots, and that bait, it lasts well. So I'll put it in, it'll last a week. So it can be useful. Sometimes I take them, one or two, but I don't take them all. I throw a lot of them back as well. I just take a few when I need them, because it's not the greatest of baits, but it does work, and it'll work fine for crab. Maybe not quite so good for lobster. But those things will share a hole with a lobster quite often. Sometimes you'll find in the pot you'll get the lobster and the eel, but you've got to get the lobster out quick before it smashes up. Gets smashed up by the conger, because the conger starts to thrash normally. Right then, get this back in and then head on home.